Today I was speaking on the subject of how reality is best understood through science, not philosophy. Reality is defined as the world or state of things as they really exist. The first piece of supporting data I have to put towards this claim is from Evolution News. Evolution News wrote an article pertaining to the claim brought up by the world-renowned physicist Stephen Hawking. Hawking stated that philosophy is dead. What he means by this statement is that philosophy is an outdated look on what science can factually prove. The whole point of science is to prove what goes on in the real world. He then goes on to state that philosophers have not kept up with the modern developments in science, particularly physics. Hawking, being known for being one of the most upstanding physicists in the world, has seen firsthand what science can offer. Philosophy simply cannot offer near the same. Since reality is the world or state of things as they really exist, and philosophy doesn't have the factual backing of how things really operate, unlike science, then reality is best understood through science, not philosophy. The second piece of supporting data I have towards the argument comes from Marco J. Newman at the University of Denver. He talks about the issue of how philosophical sophistry hinders empirical process. Sophistry is used as a process of using fallacious arguments. This can be loosely understood to mean that philosophical statements and beliefs are outdated and incorrect. With new proofs and theories coming out nearly by the day about every single individual aspect of reality, it is very difficult to give the old philosophical beliefs any accreditation as far as reality goes. Science has done too much within the past 2 centuries to argue against. Since reality is the world or state of things as they actually exist, and philosophy may be standing in the way of new science, reality is best understood through science, not philosophy. The third piece of evidence I have brought forward for this topic is from Lawrence Krauss in an article from Amherst. He says that science has redefined the meaning of something and nothing. There are many different views and thoughts on reality, but with all of the trial and error and proofs and facts concerning different pieces of reality, it is indeed very hard to argue with science. Since philosophy realistically only deals with the thoughts of what should happen versus what actually does happen, philosophy cannot be looked upon as the better understanding of reality. Since reality is defined as the world or state of things as they actually exist, and science redefines how we as humans see and perceive things, philosophy simply cannot provide that. Nearly all of the teachings of philosophy do not have any sort of theory or proof behind the beliefs. Henceforth, reality is best understood through science, not philosophy. My last and final piece of supporting evidence for the claim that science is the better understanding of reality is from an article from Berkeley. According to Berkeley, the process of science is a way of building knowledge about the universe, constructing new ideas that illuminate the world around us. These ideas are inherently tentative, but as they cycle through the process of science again and again, and are tested and retested in many different ways, we become increasingly confident in them. Even though philosophy has historically been intertwined with the likes of science, it cannot give the proof in order to make advancements in reality. Which means that, since reality is defined as the world or state of things as they actually exist, and philosophy doesn't have the ability to support claims like science can, reality is best understood through science, not philosophy. Now, my opponent might say that philosophy is the backing of science. This is wrong because, according to Berkeley, despite the fact that they are subject to change, scientific ideas are reliable. The ideas that have gained scientific acceptance have done so because they are supported by many lines of evidence. My opponent as well may say that philosophy and science work hand in hand. This is wrong because, according to Peter Lipton at Amherst, science is based on observation, equipment, and empirical values, whereas philosophy you can do with your eyes closed. Abstractly speaking, science deals with how things are, and philosophy deals with how things should be. My opponent might also say that philosophy has laid more groundwork in the world than science. This is absurd because science has real proofs and data to back up claims, whereas philosophy just focuses on the idea of certain things. My opponent finally might argue that with a philosophical viewpoint, one can carry more of a personal perspective on reality. This is absurd because you cannot discredit the proven science that is shown for certain aspects of reality. When one really thinks about it, how can philosophy possibly even come close to providing a better understanding on reality over science? It factually cannot. With everything that science has contributed to the world, and all of the hypotheses, proofs, and empirical evidence, it is impossible to even fathom that philosophy could be used to better understand reality. With everything the late Stephen Hawking and all of the other fantastic scientists of this time have done and proven, I ask you, how can one form a better understanding on reality and one's own surroundings with abstract philosophy or supported data given by science?